What is going on, everybody? It's TheZachMichael here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make a rock or a pop punk production. So let's go ahead and get right on into it now. I have a guitar loop that I've already made pulled up for the melody. This is in one of my loop kits. I make free loop kits every single week with 100 melodies in there. This is one from August and I give those out to producers. So if you want my loops, hit me up on any of my social medias. This is what it sounds like. I just cut all the stems. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute the bass and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is actually speed this up a bit. So I'm going to put it to stretch. And we'll do like 172 for now. I might change it even more. And all the drums we're going to be using are like acoustic rock drum kits that are on my site, Those Records. So feel free to purchase those if you're interested. But really, when you're creating stuff that's pop punk, a lot of it comes down to sound selection. You want stuff that sounds like acoustic drums most of the time or live drums. Although sometimes nowadays, even in that genre, they're using trap drum sounds. So it really just depends what you're trying to do. But I'm going to try to go in here and just try to find like a nice sounding snare. And I want something like that. You know, I like to have different characters. So like all my different snares in there have like different character and different sort of like tone and sound to them. But this is what I'm looking for with this one. It's a bit more like slam oriented, if that makes sense. Like when I'm picking sounds for drums and pop punk, because the patterns are pretty simple most of the time, you want to make sure that the sounds you're picking kind of can build like the sound for you. You know what I'm saying? Kind of help build that like atmosphere. And I just like the room tone that's in this and how like it's kind of aggressive, you know, because I kind of want this to give off aggressive drums. So next thing I'm gonna do is try to find like a nice kick. We're gonna use this kick here. And I'm just going to boost it so it's more loud in volume, even though I'll probably turn it down in the mixer a little bit. I'm also going to lower the pitch of it. I'm going to keep the kick pattern really, really simple. I want to leave lots of room. I'm going to turn down the out knob though, so it's a little shorter of a kick. And next, I try to find like a live sounding hi-hat. There's a bunch of good ones there, but what I like to do is kind of have two hi-hats going. So I usually have a hi-hat that I do like this, or possibly, so I either do fill each 8 steps or fill 4 steps. And then I have like a second hi-hat underneath this. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of adjust the velocities on this one just to kind of like humanize it a bit. And so like as you can hear, they're all different velocities, which affects the volume. Just kind of makes it sound a bit more like it was played. And then I try to find like a second hi-hat. And sometimes I'll just do like fill each 2 steps and leave it like that. With this one here though, I think I'm going to kind of make a pattern instead. Something like this. So like now if I just kind of mute it just so it's the hi-hats, you can kind of hear like they bounce off each other. Kind of give some groove, give some bounce. I just like how that sounds. Next I'm going to try to find like some open hats. So I'm going to put that on the 1, the 5. And then we're going to grab like an open hat like this. And we'll put that at the end. It's like that. Just to kind of be like a little perk. A lot of times when I'm making pop punk stuff, I kind of look at open hats like this a bit more like they'd be hi-hat rolls. Like if I was making a trap beat or something more rap centric, I'd probably put a roll there. But with this genre, although you can do rolls, most of the time I don't really do as many hi-hat rolls. I kind of use open hats and stuff just to fill up the space more. Another thing I like doing is having a section of the beat that's more like crowd clap centric. So I'm just going to copy in like a clap like this. This kind of gives like a bit more of a stadium feel for usually like bridges or that sort of thing. I'm just going to mute that for now though. And just like that, those drums are pretty solid. So we're going to leave it at that. Next, we're just going to open up Arcade. I want to kind of add like another layer to this, and I think Arcade is going to have what I'm looking for. So we're just going to open this up, and we'll put it to E major. And then we're just going to kind of go through and try to find like a guitar, a lead, and just kind of see what sort of stuff we have. Well, that could be cool. I like how it sounds, but I want to do some processing. So first thing I'm going to do is throw a ton of reverb on it. And then above the reverb, I'm going to open up Guitar Rig 5 and put one of my favorite presets on there, which is this Andy in a Bottle preset. I'm just going to turn the mix down a bit. Do like 40%. And just like that, we kind of have pretty decent pop punk rock track. Don't really have to do too much more. I think the biggest thing with this genre is you do want to leave room for a vocalist. Just like every other genre when you produce it, you want to make sure there's room for top lines or room for melodies. So don't always like overcrowd stuff. Like sometimes less is more. Like leaving that space is really all you need. And so now we're just going to go ahead, throw my tag there. We have a 4-bar intro, and then I'm going to have an 8-bar section, which will have the synth bass. It'll have this little dropper effect that I like to use, and the clap. And then we have the hook. And then from the hook, we're going to go into the verse. Just like that. And the second part of the verse right there. And then we just kind of duplicate this over, just like that. And then we have an 8-bar outro, which will be this section. I'm just going to remove the last 2 of the claps, do a volume automation, and honestly, that's pretty much all I need from arrangement goes. Just like that, we have a pop punk track. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out ElizabethRecords.net. Thanks for watching. Head on over to ElizabethRecords.net if you'd like to support me. You can purchase VST expansion banks, drum kits, loop kits, and MIDI kits that'll level up your production there.